The phenomenon of missing persons is a profound mystery that leaves behind unanswered questions, unbearable pain, and uncertainty for loved ones. The disappearance of a person can be bewildering, especially when there are no clues or explanation for their vanishing. The questions linger. Where could they be? Why would they leave without a word? The not knowing is often the most excruciating part, leaving the imagination to run wild with worst-case scenarios. The absence of clues or evidence can be frustrating, leaving families with no sense of closure. These stories are a reminder of the complexities and mysteries of human nature, highlighting the fragility of life and the unpredictability of human behavior. As we explore the top 15 stories of people who vanished in an untraceable manner, we are reminded that the truth is often stranger than fiction, and that the human experience is full of enigmas waiting to be unraveled. Welcome to the Mystery Law Archive. A big thank you to all our wonderful viewers and subscribers for tuning in to our videos. We're committed to bringing you more engaging and informative content that will entertain, educate, and intrigue you. Your feedback is invaluable to us, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can improve and better serve you. Thank you again for your support, and we look forward to sharing more fascinating mysteries and stories with you. Number 15. Gloria MacDonald. On January the 26th, 2001, a baffling incident occurred at Queen Wilhelmina State Park in Polk County, Arkansas, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Gloria MacDonald, a 68-year-old woman, vanished while on a hike with her husband, stepson, and his girlfriend. The group had set out on a trail near the Queen Wilhelmina Lodge, bound for the Lover's Leap area, at approximately 12:25 p.m. However, MacDonald soon decided to turn back, citing the obstruction of several trees on the path. She informed the others of her decision to return to the lodge, which housed a restaurant, gift shop, and other facilities, and began making her way back. As the group continued on their hike, they walked for an additional 30 minutes before returning to the lodge. Upon their arrival, they were met with a disturbing discovery. MacDonald was nowhere to be found. Her vehicle, which had been parked in the same location, was still intact, with her purse and personal belongings locked inside. A thorough search of the area yielded no evidence of MacDonald's whereabouts, and it was as if she had vanished into thin air. The authorities were notified, and an extensive investigation was launched, but to this day, MacDonald's disappearance remains a mystery. MacDonald was a resident of Mena, Arkansas, and had been leading an active lifestyle, enjoying aerobics and working as a reporter for the Mena Star newspaper. She had been born in New York and raised in the Texarkana, Texas area, and had graduated from Texas High School. Her family members described her as not being outdoor-oriented, which made her decision to go on a hike all the more puzzling. MacDonald had been wearing a distinctive outfit at the time of her disappearance, consisting of a blue plaid flannel shirt, a glossy bright yellow hooded jacket, blue jeans, sneakers, and rose-tinted sunglasses. She was also wearing a plain gold wedding band, a platinum ring resembling two balls intersecting one another, a 3.5-carat sapphire ring, and a necklace with a cross pendant. The investigation into MacDonald's disappearance has been ongoing for over 2 decades, with numerous agencies involved, including the Polk County Sheriff's Office, the Arkansas State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Despite the efforts of these agencies, no concrete evidence has been found to explain MacDonald's vanishing. Her family and friends continue to hold out hope that she will be found, and the authorities remain committed to solving the case. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 501 394 2511, the Arkansas State Police at 800 553 3820, or the Federal Bureau of Investigation at 202 324 3000. MacDonald's case remains a haunting reminder of the unpredictability of life and the importance of perseverance in the face of uncertainty. The circumstances surrounding MacDonald's disappearance are all the more intriguing given the details of her personal life. She had been carrying a Minolta Riva Zoom 90 camera with the serial number 4090745 at the time of her disappearance, and her notes and articles from her work as a reporter have been scrutinized for any potential clues. However, none of these have yielded any significant information. MacDonald's family members have also reported that she may have used the names Gloria White Moore and/or Gloria MacDonald, which has added an extra layer of complexity to the investigation. As the years go by, the mystery of Gloria MacDonald's disappearance continues to deepen, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a family that remains hopeful for her safe return. Number 14. Frederick Fritz Drum. In the quaint town of Saratoga, a sense of unease settled over the community as 68-year-old Fritz Drum vanished into thin air. The year was 2015, and Drum, a recently retired man, had been enjoying his life on his 170-acre property on Burgoyne Road. On November 24th, between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., Drum was last seen in Schuylerville, New York, and it is believed that he went for a walk on his property, which borders Fish Creek. However, he never returned home, leaving behind his vehicle and a trail of unanswered questions. As the days passed, Drum's family grew increasingly concerned, and they reported him missing the next day. The authorities launched an investigation, but despite their best efforts, no signs of foul play were found. The only clue was that Drum's wallet, containing his debit card and New York driver's license, was missing, suggesting that he may have taken it with him on his walk. Drum's disappearance was all the more puzzling given his background. He was a respected member of the community, having served as the caretaker for a property across the street from his own and as a member of the Saratoga Town Board. He and his wife had planned to travel in their retirement. But now, those plans seemed to be on hold indefinitely. As the search for Drum continued, the community came together to support his family. A $5,000 reward was offered for any information that could lead to his whereabouts, and the police urged anyone with information to come forward. The phone number 518-885-6761 was made available for anyone who might have seen or heard something that could help solve the mystery of Drum's disappearance. Warren County Sheriff Jim LaFar noted that it was unusual for a hunter to disappear without a trace, as was the case with 82-year-old Tom Messick, who vanished on a hunting trip with friends in the woods in Horicon. The sheriff emphasized the importance of being aware of these missing persons cases, especially for those new to the area, in case they stumbled upon something in the woods that could help bring closure to the families. As the years went by, Drum's case remained unsolved, and his family was left to wonder what had happened to him. There was no activity on his bank accounts or credit cards, and no other indication that he was still alive. The mystery of Fritz Drum's disappearance continued to haunt the community, a reminder that even in the most seemingly idyllic towns, secrets and uncertainties can lurk just beneath the surface. The police and the community continued to search for Drum, scouring the woods and surrounding areas, hoping to find any clue that might lead them to him. They urged anyone who might be new to the area to be aware of the missing persons cases, in case they stumbled upon something that could help solve the mystery. As the search efforts continued, the community held on to hope that one day they would find the answers they were looking for, and that Fritz Drum would be brought home to his loved ones. Number 13. Jerica Hamre. The scorching Nebraska sun beat down on the search party, fueling their determination to find Jerica Hamre, a vibrant Lincoln woman who had vanished into thin air. The Lincoln Police Department's report of her disappearance on July 3rd had sent shockwaves through the community, and the subsequent investigation had revealed a web of suspicious circumstances that had left her family and loved ones reeling. As the search continued in central Nebraska, the Hamre family had held on to hope, their hearts heavy with the uncertainty of Jerica's fate. Jerica's father, Craig Hamre, had remembered his daughter as a fun-loving and light-hearted person who had always had a joke ready to go. Her mother, Lisa Hamre, had recalled the countless moments Jerica had spent with her 3 daughters, who were now left to wonder where their mom was. The family's pain was palpable, and the recent weeks had been a roller coaster of emotions. It was difficult, especially with the little girls, Lisa Hamre had admitted. We had tried to protect them from the harsh reality, but it was hard to shield them from the truth. As the investigation had unfolded, the search area had expanded to include Holdrege, Alma, Arapahoe, Bertrand, Elwood, Johnson Lake, and surrounding areas. The Lincoln Police Department, local law enforcement, and private investigators had worked tirelessly to piece together the evidence. But the Hamre family had grown impatient. We had known they were working on Jerica's case, but it had felt like nothing was being done, Lisa Hamre had said, her frustration evident. We had just wanted to find our daughter and bring her home. In the midst of this chaos, a beacon of hope had emerged in the form of Bring 'em Home, Nebraska, a non-profit organization that had aided families with the missing loved ones. The group had been instrumental in organizing searches and providing emotional support to the Hamre family. We were grateful for their help, Lisa Hamre had said, her voice filled with gratitude. They had been a lifeline for us, and we had not known what we would have done without them. On Sunday, a team of over 50 volunteers in 30 vehicles had combed the search area, determined to find Jerica. The Hamre family, including Jerica's daughters, had been present, and the outpouring of community support had been a balm to their weary souls. It was huge what Bring 'em Home, Nebraska had done, Craig Hamre had said, his eyes welling up with tears. It had shown us that we were not alone in this fight, and that there were people who cared about our daughter and wanted to help us find her. As the search for Jerica Hamre had continued, the community had remained vigilant, and the Hamre family had held on to hope. They had known that the road ahead would be long and arduous, but they had been determined to find their beloved daughter and bring her home. no matter what it had taken. The investigation had been ongoing, and the authorities had urged anyone with information to come forward. The Hamre family had counted on the community's support to help them find Jerica and bring closure to their family. Number 12. Howard Stone. Howard Stone, a 64-year-old resident of Spanish Fork, Utah, went missing on August 10th, 2024, after going hiking at Little Wild Horse Canyon in Emery County. His daughter, Jessica Church, recalled the anxious moments she spent waiting by the phone, saying, "I just sat with the phone in my hand, just knowing they'd call any minute." Unfortunately, the call never came, and Stone's disappearance has left his family and authorities searching for answers. The search efforts have been extensive, with Emery County Sheriff Tyson Huntington explaining that we had guys all around the trailhead, into the river, below the trailhead as much as they could, and then we sent guys on foot and on dirt bikes above the trail itself. Despite these efforts, Stone's car was the only lead found at the trailhead, and no other signs of him have been discovered. As Church noted, in the last couple of days, it's been kind of disheartening to try to come to terms that they talk about it more as a recovery now. This shift in focus from rescue to recovery has been a difficult reality for the family to accept, and they are struggling to come to terms with the possibility that Stone may not be found alive. The investigation has involved helicopters, specialty K-9s, and Civil Air Patrol, but so far, only one brief potential sighting of Stone has been reported. A young couple mentioned that they thought they may have seen him on the trail and spoke to him for a little bit, but this is the only information of its kind. As Huntington said, there was a young couple that mentioned they thought they may have seen him on the trail and spoke to him for a little bit, but that is the only kind of information like that where people have seen him. This glimmer of hope has given the family a sense of optimism, but it is also a reminder of the vast and rugged terrain that Stone was hiking in and the many dangers that he may have faced. Church has been holding on to hope, saying, "I can't let go of the hope," but the reality of the situation is starting to sink in. The search for Stone is approaching its second week, and the family is trying to come to terms with the possibility that he may not be found alive. As Church admitted, it's been kind of disheartening to think about the situation in this way, but she's still holding on to the hope that her father will be found safe and sound. The family is grateful for the support of the community and the efforts of the search teams, and they are urging anyone with information about Stone's disappearance to come forward. As the search continues, the family is also trying to piece together the events of the day Stone went missing. They know that he was an experienced hiker and was familiar with the trail, but they are still trying to understand what may have happened to him. The flash flood warning that was issued for the area has raised concerns that Stone may have been swept away by a current, but authorities have said that this is not believed to be the case. The family is also aware that the trail can be treacherous, with steep drop-offs and rocky terrain, and they are worried that Stone may have fallen or injured himself in some way. Despite the challenges and uncertainties of the situation, the family is remaining optimistic and is holding on to the hope that Stone will be found safe and sound. As Church said, "I just want my dad to come home," and the family is urging anyone with information to come forward to help make that happen. The search for Howard Stone will continue, and the family will remain vigilant, holding on to the hope that he will be found and returned to them safely. Number 11, Ed Robinson. A sense of unease is escalating in Phoney as a 22-year-old man, Wade Robison, has mysteriously vanished. The last known incident involving Robison was a car crash on Highway 80 near FM 460 on Sunday morning around 6:30 a.m. After the accident, Robison abandoned his vehicle and disappeared along the frontage road, leaving his loved ones in a state of distress. Robison's dedication to his job was unwavering, having worked consecutively for 3 years without taking a single weekend off. His failure to meet his co-workers on Sunday morning to mow lawns has raised concerns, and the only signs of his presence since the crash have been his cell phone and footprints near a creek. As the search for Robison continues, his family and friends are struggling to cope with the uncertainty. Cameron Bano, a childhood friend, expressed his distress, stating that his mind is preoccupied with thoughts of Robison, making it challenging to focus on daily tasks. The search efforts, which have been extensive, involving land, air, and water, have yielded no results, leaving the family and friends with a deep sense of anxiety. Zach Smith, the Director of Communications for the City of Phoney, has assured that an exhaustive search is underway, and it will continue until Robison is found. The family is desperate for answers, and the not knowing is taking a toll on their emotional well-being. Dylan Owens, who is married to Robison's sister, expressed the difficulty of dealing with the uncertainty, stating that it's hard to function when there are no clues about Robison's whereabouts. The community has come together to support the search efforts, with many volunteers participating in the search. The authorities are urging anyone with information that could aid in finding Robison to come forward and contact the police. As the hours tick by, the family and friends of Wade Robison can only hope that he will be found safe and sound, bringing an end to the agonizing uncertainty that has gripped their lives. Number 10, Gina Jo Ratliff. Gina Jo Ratliff, a 56-year-old woman, has been missing since July 28, 2024, and her family is desperately seeking answers. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office has released a description of Ratliff, stating that she is a white female, approximately 5 feet 1 inch tall, and weighs around 135 pounds, with blue eyes and dark brown shoulder-length hair. According to Fraser, a friend of Ratliff's, the last message received from her indicated that she was with someone who was upset and taking it out on her, and then all communication ceased. This has raised concerns about Ratliff's safety and well-being, and her friends and family are eager to find out what happened to her. Fraser said, "I just want to find Gina," emphasizing the urgency and concern for her friend's disappearance. Ratliff's friends believe that she may have been with Tim Crow in Macon at the time of her disappearance. Crow, who was a suspect in the murder of Callie Goolsby, shot and killed himself after a standoff with U.S. Marshals in Rockdale County. The investigation into Goolsby's murder had revealed that Crow had a violent reputation, and his actions had left many people shocked and disturbed. Goolsby's friend, Derek Johnston, described Crow as a violent person, stating that he was a gangster and had previously put a gun to Goolsby's head in a Macon hotel room. This incident had occurred shortly before Goolsby's body was discovered, and it has raised questions about whether Ratliff may have been in a similar situation. It is unclear if Ratliff was the other person in the room with Goolsby and Crow, but the possibility has not been ruled out. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office began asking for the public's help in locating Ratliff 2 days after Crow's death. Fraser hopes that Ratliff is safe, but acknowledges that the chances of that are slim, given the amount of time that has passed since her disappearance. I hope she's just parlaying on a beach somewhere in Florida, but being in a realistic situation, being this month missing, chances are that is not going to be the case, Frazier said. The realistic hope now is for closure and some kind of answers about what happened to Ratliff. Her friends and family are holding on to the hope that she will be found safe and sound, but they are also preparing for the possibility that she may not be. Number 9. Thomas Messick. Thomas Messick Sr., an 82-year-old experienced outdoorsman, embarked on a deer hunting trip with a group of friends and family on November 15, 2015, in the eastern Adirondacks of New York. Despite being an avid hunter, Messick had some physical limitations, including missing one eye, and had a history of heart issues. On that Sunday afternoon, the group of 7 hunters, including Messick, headed into the woods around Lily Pond near Brant Lake, an area they had not visited before. As part of the hunting strategy, Messick took a position sitting on a tree stump, while the younger members of the group set off to try to push deer toward him and 2 others on watch. However, when the group returned to Messick's location about an hour later, he was nowhere to be found. A search effort was immediately launched, and state forest rangers were called to assist. The initial search was led by the State Department of Environmental Conservation, with help from local firefighters, police, and volunteer search and rescue groups. The search effort was extensive, covering an estimated 29 square miles in remote northern Warren County, with over 300 searchers, helicopters, search dogs, and divers involved. Despite the thorough search, no trace of Messick was found, even as the search extended into the winter months. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into years, the investigation into Messick's disappearance continued. Detectives from the State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation became more involved in the case, pursuing leads as they emerged. However, investigators have not disclosed whether they have any concrete ideas about what happened to Messick. Theories about Messick's disappearance have emerged over time, including the possibility that he may have had a medical problem, gotten lost, or settled in a spot where he couldn't be found. The forested area around Lily Pond, with its caves, crevices, and old mines, has also raised speculation about what could have happened to him. Some have wondered if he may have been the victim of a fatal accident, foul play, or something more unusual. 8 years after his disappearance, the case remains an active investigation, with State Police Investigator John Dayette stating, "Missing persons cases aren't closed until we figure out what happened." The search for answers continues, but for now, the fate of Thomas Messick Sr. remains a mystery. Number 8. Denise Leary. The disappearance of 59-year-old Denise Leary has left her family and friends in a state of distress, with a deep sense of uncertainty and concern for her well-being. Her son, Joshua Webby, is holding on to hope that she will be found safe and sound, and is struggling to come to terms with the fact that she's no longer with them. Denise was last seen on September 29, 2024, in New Haven, Connecticut, where she had moved to care for her ailing parents. Her brother, Michael Leary, had also returned to Connecticut to help with their mother's care, and he was the last person to speak with Denise before she vanished. The two had a close relationship, and Michael had always felt a sense of responsibility to look out for his sister. The summer of 2024 had been a challenging time for Denise, who struggled with mental health issues, including anxiety and depression. Her family had noticed a change in her behavior, and Joshua had found her actions to be concerning in the days leading up to her disappearance. Despite her struggles, Denise was a devoted mother and was always there for her children, Joshua and his younger sister, Morgan. On the night of September 29th, Denise had asked Joshua to turn off her phone's location services, and she had left the house, saying she was going out. She returned later that night, but Joshua was unsure who had picked her up or where she'd gone. This incident had left Joshua feeling uneasy, and he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. The next morning, Joshua discovered that his mother was missing when he went to check on her and found her bedroom door locked from the inside. The window was open, and it appeared that she had jumped out using a cable cord to hoist herself down. Joshua was frantic with worry, and he immediately called for help. The family launched a search for Denise, tracking her phone to several locations in Connecticut, including a park in New Haven. However, they were unable to find her, and the police were called to investigate. The New Haven Police Department has been working to find Denise, using K9 units, drones, and surveillance footage to track her movements. As the search for Denise continues, her family remains hopeful that she will be found safe and sound. "We just want her to come home," Joshua said, his voice filled with emotion. "We love her, and we miss her." The family is grateful for the support of the community, and they are urging anyone with information about Denise's disappearance to come forward. The investigation into Denise's disappearance is ongoing, and the police are exploring all possible leads. While they have found some evidence, including a reported sighting of Denise in Hamden, Connecticut, they have not found any evidence of foul play. The family is trying to stay positive, but the uncertainty and not knowing what happened to Denise is taking a toll on them. As the days turn into weeks, the family is holding on to hope that Denise will be found soon. They are praying for her safe return, and they are grateful for the support of their loved ones and the community. The disappearance of Denise Leary has left a void in the lives of her family and friends, and they are eager to have her back home where she belongs. Number 7. Theresa Hartley. Theresa Hartley's disappearance has left her family and loved ones in a state of uncertainty, with her niece, Cara Hartley, thinking about her daily and feeling like she's in a terrible limbo, not knowing what happened to her. Cara fondly remembers her aunt as a sweet, funny, and kind person, and it's heartbreaking to think that she might be gone. The circumstances surrounding Theresa's disappearance are puzzling, with her friend claiming that she stayed behind when their vehicle got stuck in the woods, and he went to get help, only to return 2 days later to find her gone. This happened in February 2023. The investigation into Theresa's disappearance has been ongoing, with the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Committee, K9s, and the U.S. Forest Service, all involved in the search efforts. Despite their best efforts, no signs of Theresa have been found, and the family is growing increasingly desperate for answers. Kara can't help but wonder what might have happened to her aunt, and she's struggling to come to terms with the fact that she might never see her again. It's strange that the friend didn't report Teresa missing sooner, and Kara can't help but wonder why he didn't take immediate action to find her. The authorities have suggested that Teresa might have had a mental condition and gotten lost. And Kara has heard from people who knew her that she was indeed struggling with memory issues. This new information has raised more questions than answers, and Kara is determined to get to the bottom of what happened to her aunt. Kara's message to her aunt is one of love and reassurance, letting her know that it's okay to come home, even though she fears the chances of that are slim. In the event that Teresa is no longer alive, Kara wants her spirit to know that she's loved and cared for, and that they'll never give up looking for her. The search for Teresa continues, with Kara welcoming any trained civilian search teams with cadaver dogs to join the effort in the area where she was last seen. As the days turn into weeks, the family is becoming increasingly desperate for any information that might lead them to Teresa. They're urging anyone with knowledge of her disappearance to come forward, no matter how small the detail might seem. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office is also asking for anyone with information to contact them at 904-824-8304. Kara is holding on to the hope that someone will come forward with information, and she's determined to keep searching for her aunt until she's found. The community is also rallying around the family, offering support and assistance in any way they can. The search for Teresa has brought the community together, with many people volunteering their time and resources to help find her. Kara is grateful for the outpouring of support, and she's determined to keep searching for her aunt until she's found. The search for Teresa Hartley will continue, and the family will never give up hope of finding her and bringing her home. Number 6. Fern Baird. Fern Baird's disappearance is a really puzzling case that has left everyone baffled. On October 19, 2020, she signed the Prairie Creek Trailhead Register at 117 in the Sawtooth National Forest near Ketchum, Idaho, but she never returned. Her Subaru Crosstrek was later found parked in the parking area, with her purse still inside, but there was no sign of Fern anywhere. The authorities launched a massive search effort with 40 personnel scouring the area, using 3 K9 units, 2 drones, several Idaho National Guard helicopters, and officers on foot and horseback. They searched for 9 days, but unfortunately, they didn't find any clues, and the search was called off on October 30th. Fern was an experienced hiker, fit and dressed appropriately for the cool seasonal weather. She was known to stick to the trails and not take any chances, so it's really strange that she disappeared. The last time she was seen was in a hotel. See CCTV footage wearing a gray jacket, black pants, and carrying a black fanny pack. She's 5 feet, 5 inches, and approximately 115 pounds, so it's not like she would be easy to miss. The hotel staff reported her missing on October 22nd, after she failed to check out, and that's when the search efforts began. Back in Park City, Utah, Fern worked at Powder Beach Realty, selling residential homes and managing vacation rentals. She also founded the company Yopa Bag, designing bags for carrying yoga equipment to class. She was very well liked and had many friends who would gather together to go on hikes. Fern has one son, Breck, who lives in California, and I can only imagine how worried he must be about his mom. The search for Fern hasn't ended entirely, though. A search and rescue team on a training exercise in June 2021 looked in the vicinity of a waterfall, but they didn't find anything related to her. This past summer, the Fowler O'Sullivan Foundation led a comprehensive search for Fern, with the goal of checking new areas of interest and adding more tracks to the main search map. The foundation has played a role in discovering the remains of 5 missing hikers, and they're still working on finding Fern. It's really sad that Fern's disappearance remains a mystery, and I can only hope that one day we'll find out what happened to her. The fact that she was an experienced hiker and didn't take any chances makes it even more puzzling. I just hope that the authorities and the search teams will keep looking for her and that we'll eventually find some answers. Number 5. Caitlin Angel Vara. The disappearance of Caitlin Kate. Angel Vara has left her family and friends in a state of utter desperation and deep concern for her safety and well-being. Kate was last seen in the 600 block of Maria Elena near Culebra Road, and her family has not heard from her since August 6, 2024. This is highly uncharacteristic of Kate, who is known to be a sweet and friendly person who always stays in touch with her loved ones. According to her mother, Valerie Mendoza, Kate left home on August 6th to attend a medical appointment, but she never returned. Mendoza said that Kate made it to the appointment, but then vanished off the face of the earth and has not been seen or heard from since. This has left Mendoza and the rest of Kate's family in a state of extreme worry and fear for her safety. Mendoza described Kate as a lovely person who is loved by everyone and has a lot of friends who care about her. However, Kate has struggled with drug abuse in the past, and her family is deeply concerned that she may have fallen back into old habits. Despite this, Kate's family is holding on to hope that she will be found safe and sound. The San Antonio Police Department's Missing Persons Unit is investigating Kate's disappearance, and they are urging anyone with information to come forward. Kate is described as being 5 feet tall, weighing around 108 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of the name Valerie on her stomach, a tattoo of the name James on her cheek, and a pierced right cheekbone. Mendoza said that Kate's disappearance has been very hard on the family, especially since her birthday is coming up next month. Kate's 4-year-old son, James, has already asked for his mother, and Mendoza is at a loss for what to tell him. The family is desperate for any information that might lead to Kate's safe return, and they are begging anyone with knowledge of her whereabouts to come forward. On Saturday, the family, with the help of the non-profit Search and Support San Antonio, handed out flyers and searched areas where they think Kate might be. Mendoza said that they are hoping against hope that someone will come forward with information that will lead to Kate's safe return. As Mendoza said, even if it's something little, it might be important and could help bring Kate home. The family is grateful for the support of the community and the police department, and they are holding on to hope that Kate will be found soon. As Mendoza said, "We just want her to come home and be safe." The search for Kate continues, and her family is begging anyone with information to come forward and help bring her home. Number 4. Brianna Mitchell. It has been a tough few years for the family and friends of Mitchell, whose vehicle was found abandoned on a two-track trail near the No Water Trail on July 24th. The search for Mitchell, a 28-year-old white woman, went on for several days, with a team of dedicated volunteers and law enforcement officials working tirelessly to locate her. Despite their best efforts, however, nothing of significance has been discovered. Mitchell is described as being 5 feet, 5 inches tall, weighing around 130 pounds, with green eyes and brown hair. Although it's possible that her hair may be black now. She was last heard from on July 22nd, after her car became stuck in rugged terrain near the No Water Trail, past the Worland Municipal Airport. Since then, authorities have been granted search warrants for her cell phone, social media, and email data, and numerous individuals have been interviewed in connection with the investigation. However, the details of these interviews are not being made public, as the investigation is still active. The Washakie County Sheriff's Office, led by Sheriff Brookwell, is working diligently to follow up on every lead and gather as much information as possible to aid in the search for Mitchell. The community has come together to support the search efforts, with many volunteers offering their time and resources to help bring Mitchell home safely. The fact that Mitchell's car was found stuck in rugged terrain suggests that she may have been in a remote area, and it's possible that she may have been unable to call for help or communicate with anyone. The authorities are exploring all possible scenarios and are working to piece together the events surrounding her disappearance. The search efforts have been extensive, with a bloodhound crew, cadaver dog, and drone all being used to try and locate her. Unfortunately, no clues or evidence have been found yet, despite searching an area of around 20 square miles. The Washakie County Sheriff's Office has been working tirelessly to investigate Mitchell's disappearance, and they're grateful for the support of the community, with many people volunteering their time to help with the search. The investigation is still ongoing, with the Sheriff's Office personnel looking into call logs and text messages from Mitchell's phone to try and determine her last known location. They've obtained her phone records from Verizon Wireless and are waiting to hear back from Facebook and Snapchat, who have been sent search warrants. It's a frustrating process, as these large companies can take a while to get the information to the authorities. The Washakie County Volunteer Fire Department and a private company even helped to drain a pond in the area, but sadly, nothing was found. The Sheriff's Office has said that they won't be conducting any more searches unless they get a significant lead in the investigation. It's a difficult and uncertain time for everyone involved, but the community is coming together to support the search efforts and the family of Mitchell. The Sheriff's Office is doing everything they can to try and find her, and they're grateful for the help and support of the public. The authorities are urging everyone to remain vigilant and to report any information that may aid in the search for Mitchell. With the help of the public and the dedication of the law enforcement officials, it's hoped that Mitchell will be found safe and sound soon. Number 3. Eric Campbell. The search for Eric Campbell, a 47-year-old man from Eureka, has been ongoing since Thursday, September 19th, with new information emerging in previous days. Campbell was last seen camping in the Patrick's Creek area, and his family reported him missing on Wednesday evening after discovering his abandoned campsite, vehicle, and pets. The campsite was found to be undisturbed, with his 2 dogs and cat still present, but there was no sign of Campbell himself. The California Highway Patrol, CHP, has been assisting in the search, using helicopters and drones to scour the area, alongside ground searchers. The sheriff's office has also been involved, with spokesperson stating that Mr. Campbell is still missing and we are still searching one. The search efforts have been extensive, with air operations continuing on Sunday, and the authorities are urging people to stay clear of the area to give searchers and family space. Campbell's truck was found at the campsite with its hood up, which may indicate mechanical issues. This, combined with his history of seizures, has raised concerns about his ability to seek help or manage his condition while alone in the wilderness. His family and friends are worried about whether he had his medication with him at the time, and the search and rescue efforts are ongoing in hopes of finding any trace of him. The search area is rugged and brushy, with rocky terrain and bear sign present, according to Del Norte County Sheriff Garrett Scott. Campbell had previously encountered a bear with cubs in the area and had used rocks to run them off. The weather has been mild, with temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s during the day, but it's chilly at night. Multiple agencies have joined in the search, including the CHP, Del Norte Search and Rescue, Jackson County Search and Rescue, and the U.S. Forest Service. A plane with infrared technology has also been used to try to find heat sources in the area. Despite these efforts, there have been no substantial leads, and the search continues. Campbell's family is understandably worried, and his cousin, Lisa Bowen, has expressed concerns about his seizure disorder, which can make him disoriented. The authorities are urging anyone with information to contact the Del Norte County Sheriff's Office at 707-464-4191. The search for Eric Campbell is ongoing, and the community is coming together to support the efforts to find him. Number 2. Michael Frison. A sense of desperation has settled over the family of Michael Frison, a 25-year-old British man who vanished while on holiday in Sardinia. His mother, Christina Pitalis, is beside herself with worry and has launched a heartfelt appeal to find her son, whom she describes as sweet, kind, gentle, and very sensitive. Michael had been visiting relatives and volunteering on a farm in the northern part of the island, and was last seen leaving for a walk on the evening of Saturday, July 13th, in the countryside near Luras. As the search for Michael continues, his family and friends are growing increasingly concerned for his safety. The excessive heat in Sardinia has added to their worries, and they are desperate to find him before it's too late. Michael's friend Harry has been supporting his family and is hoping to fly out to Sardinia to join the search efforts. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help raise money for travel and other expenses, and Harry is urging people to donate to help bring Michael home. The Italian authorities are currently searching the area where Michael was last seen, with 2 rescue teams equipped with drones working tirelessly to scour the terrain. However, Michael's mother is worried that it may be too soon to stop searching, and fears that her son is in real danger. She has been in contact with her son every day and knew something was wrong when she didn't hear from him. Michael was officially reported missing at around midday the following day, and since then, his family has been living in a state of anguish. Michael had been staying with family on the island before heading north, and had left his accommodation at the volunteer site with only a bottle of water, leaving behind his phone, laptop, and ID. His mother is convinced that he would never have left without contacting her, and is holding on to the hope that he will be found safe and sound. The British Foreign Office and the British Embassy in Rome are supporting Michael's family and are in contact with the local authorities. But so far, there has been no sign of him. As the days turn into weeks, Michael's family is becoming increasingly desperate. They are urging anyone with information to come forward and are appealing to the local community to help search for him. The terrain in Sardinia can be remote and treacherous, and Michael's family is worried that he may have gotten lost or injured. They are counting on the help of the local authorities and the community to bring him home, and are holding on to the hope that he will be found soon. The search for Michael Frizzon is a complex and challenging one, with the Italian authorities facing difficult terrain and harsh weather conditions. However, they are working tirelessly to find him and are using all available resources to scour the area. Michael's family is grateful for their efforts and is urging everyone to stay vigilant and to report any sightings or information that may lead to his safe return. As the search continues, Michael's family remains hopeful that he will be found and is counting on the support of the community to bring him home. Number 1. Austin King. The disappearance of 22-year-old Austin King has left his family and friends in a state of anguish, with his father, Brian King Henke, embarking on a relentless quest to find his son. Austin, a concessions employee at Yellowstone National Park, had set out on a solo backpacking trip to climb Eagle Peak, the highest mountain in the park, on September 14th. However, he failed to return on September 20th, prompting his family to report him missing. As the search efforts began, a ranger who had encountered Austin on the trail revealed that he had deviated from his original route and decided to climb the peak instead. The last communication from Austin was on September 17th, when he called his father from the summit, leaving a voicemail that didn't arrive until a week later. The message was a haunting one, with Austin's voice trembling as he described the treacherous weather conditions he was facing. "You can tell he's scared. He's cold. He doesn't know where he's at," said John Lamb, a searcher who heard the voicemail. The search for Austin was launched on September 21st, with crews from Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks scouring the area. However, the efforts were hindered by the rugged terrain and harsh weather conditions. On October 11th, a handwritten note was discovered in the registry atop Eagle Peak, which Austin had written on September 17th. The note described his ordeal in vivid detail, including the rain, sleet, hail, and wind he had endured. "I truly cannot believe I am here after what it took to be here," Austin wrote. "I endured rain, sleet, hail, and the most wind I have ever felt." Despite the extensive search efforts, which involved over 100 personnel, including 2 helicopters, search dog teams, and ground teams with spotting scopes, Austin's whereabouts remained a mystery. The search was eventually shifted from a rescue to a recovery effort on October 2nd, but Brian King Henke refused to give up. He continued to raise funds on GoFundMe, eventually collecting over $17,000. and contracted private rescue teams to search the Eagle Peak wilderness. The agonizing wait for Brian King Henke has been a roller coaster of emotions, with feelings of anger, sadness, and desperation. However, he remains resolute in his determination to find his son, even if it means waiting for the snow to melt off the mountain ranges in Yellowstone. I know it's more of a recovery than anything, but it's just knowing that he's out there, Brian said. I don't want somebody to come across him and find him torn to pieces or anything like that. I couldn't. I don't think I could live with that and hear someone say, "Hey, we found his hand," or something like that. Brian's plan is to launch a massive search effort on July 20th, 2025, involving private rental cabins scattered throughout Yellowstone that are not on Ordnance Survey maps. He believes that Austin might have stumbled upon one of these cabins, which could have provided him with supplies and shelter. I'm hearing that all these hunters that go out there are quite a few cabins spread out in those mountain ranges and those basins, Brian said. So, if Austin was able to get out there and find them, then he'd have supplies. They all have blankets, firewood, food. You're out of the weather. So there's always the possibility. With the search effort looming, Brian is preparing himself for the daunting task ahead. He has managed to raise almost $20,000 on GoFundMe, which will be used to fund helicopter rental, fuel, camping aid, transport, and other resources. It's going to be a daunting task to bring this army of helpers together and be ready in July, Brian said. However, he remains optimistic, driven by his unwavering belief in the impossible. Like I've been saying all along, I believe in the impossible, he said. I've been through a journey of anger, sadness, but I have to keep reminding myself that I've made it through things in the past, which have given me the foundation ground to keep level-headed and do what I need to do as dad. It is crucial to report any information or tips related to missing persons to the relevant investigation agencies. If you have any details or leads regarding the disappearance of individuals featured in this video, please do not hesitate to contact the authorities immediately. It is essential to spread the word and raise awareness about these missing persons cases to bring closure and hope to the families and loved ones affected. By sharing this information and reporting any tips or leads, we can work together to bring these individuals home and provide the families with the answers they desperately seek. Thank you for watching. Stay informed with breaking news, captivating stories, and insightful updates by subscribing to our channel. Be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss a new video.